I know so many of you are already fed up and sick and tired of Candace Owens, but it seems like she won't know when to be quiet, right? She constantly rages over on her ex account about false things and crazy things. It seems like the woman has a significant mental illness. Yesterday, it was her complaining and mocking Jesus and the Bible, to now today saying that Romanian TikTokers are alleging that Israelis are showing up to escape the war. There are conspiracies floating around a long time ago that there was a plan to settle Israelis in Ukraine and that the two wars were connected. Given that the modern day Ukraine is where the majority of modern day Israelis came from, keep your eyes open and email me if you have any information, tips@candaceowens.com. Yes, so you're definitely going to just completely trust the sources of people that email you that have significant information about what you've just alleged, which I'll have you know is nuts. But I don't think anything that Candace Owens has said recently makes any kind of sense whatsoever. In fact, I've been making quite a few videos, as you guys are fully aware, refuting all of the stuff that she says. But that's the kind of, I guess, failed logic of these people. Because like I've said a million times over, if you think about what these people are saying for more than 10 seconds, I guarantee you'll be able to use logic, reason, and rationale to refute the things that they're claiming. And half the stuff that they're claiming, to be honest with you, is just showing me they've got a significant mental illness. To be saying stuff like this is problematic. Now, it gets better, ladies and gentlemen, because she has once again raged over on X about Trump saying this. Trump did a huge thing. You know how Trump said that he wasn't, or he was thinking about getting involved, like with the US, with the Iran stuff? Trump has been very consistent on saying that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Now, did the US or Trump decide to go out of his way and bomb people? No, he didn't. In fact, he said within the next 2 weeks, he'll decide whether or not America will, in fact, get involved. And turns out today was that day of America officially getting involved. Trump said this: "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo, and all planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is a time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter." And by the way, loads of people, not just Candace Owens, but loads of people are on the fritz. They're complaining, they're going nuts, going, how dare Trump drag us into another war? It seems like World War III started, but it just finished. And everyone's going, do you think Khomeini is going to allow this to actually happen? Like, you think he's just going to sit down and allow Trump to bomb his nuclear sites? Guaranteed he's going to retaliate, but it won't be towards the US. Or maybe it will be. Maybe there are lots of sleeper cells in the US. We don't know, because the border was open for a very long time. We know that ICE is doing the best job they possibly can to get rid of the illegals, but there's many, many Muslims in the US, believe you me. So maybe there are sleeper cells. Maybe we don't know what's going to actually happen. Oh, by the way, turns out the aircraft carrier that everyone was saying was going to be sunk, and it was going to be used as a way to bring the US into war. Turns out that didn't actually happen. So these people are fearmongers, big time, and no one is asking anyone, boots on the ground, to go and die for the war in Iran. No one. Trump knew what he was doing. His foreign policy was accurate this time. And by the way, when you have a Democrat saying that this is John Fetterman, okay? When you've got a Democrat that is actually sounding like he has more sense than people that claim to be on the side of Trump that are actually against Trump, that tells you something, right? I've long maintained this was the correct move by President Trump. Iran is the world's leading sponsor of terrorism and cannot have nuclear capabilities. I'm grateful for and salute the finest military in the world. This is a Democrat. And all of the supposed, like, we can't go to war, like, they're going nuts now. Tucker Carlson, who apparently called Trump to apologize about his harsh words, and Trump's going, well, you do know that Iran can't have nuclear weapons. And Tucker's like, well, we can't go to war to them, but Tucker, we can't allow Iran to have nuclear weapons, Tucker. Oh, but we can't go to war. We're not going to war, mate. We're just going to drop a payload of bombs on them, and that'll be that. They don't have nuclear capabilities anymore. Simple. So these nuclear sites that everyone was saying, oh, Iran doesn't have nuclear capabilities. They have 60% uranium. They're definitely not creating nuclear bombs. Hello? Trump knew what was going on all along, and all these fearmongers, you want to call them, the bad faith individuals, are screeching. Candace Owens says this: a full payload of bombs was dropped, followed by now is a time for peace. Utterly deranged. If we had raised the 100 million Adelson gave him on GoFundMe, maybe he would have kept his promises. Guess we'll never know. So Candace Owens is actually siding with Khomeini now because Trump had proper information. And the problem we've got nowadays, we've got all of these so-called bad faith actors that have massive audiences and lead people astray, Candace being one of them. And she's having a meltdown that Iran now no longer has nukes. That is actually one of the craziest thing ever. Like, she said a lot of crazy stuff, but she's freaking out that Iran no longer has nuclear capabilities. Oh, dear. Do you really think this is about America first? No, it's not. It's a much more bigger game, if you ask me. And Candace is actually significantly mentally ill, right? Same with Marta Maid. Now our only hope is Iranian restraint. Wonderful. Right. Okay. Scott Morrison, our former Prime Minister, goes peace through strength. In order for there to be peace, one side must show that they are stronger than the other. Should they not? Or we're going to have a great deal of problems arise. Because one side is going to never surrender. It's like Japan, for example. There would still be war in the Pacific if it weren't for the superpower, America, creating a nuclear bomb and dropping 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? So that was peace through strength. It may not always look glamorous, but no war is ever glamorous, I'll have you know. In order to get peace sometimes from people that don't want to actually surrender, you got to show a bit of strength. You got to show a little bit of backbone. And sometimes people won't like it. They will criticize you. But in the end, you don't want terrorist organizations to have nuclear capabilities or powers. Just pointing that out. It should be a simple thing for people to understand, shouldn't it? No. No, we've got to allow the Iranians to have nuclear capabilities, even though they support terrorism everywhere else in the world, and they're a massive problem. Dave Rubin goes, and that's a wrap on World War III. Unfollow grifters accordingly. Yeah. Roseanne Barr has gone peace through strength or peace through not sucking the, you know what, of a G-word death cult to appease the Nazis on Twitter. Greatest president of all time. And the Imam of Peace. So if the Imam of Peace, who is a Muslim, can see that this is peace through strength, not lies and weakness. If he can see that, why can't these grifter types see it? Oh, you know what? My bank account is full of Iranian money. My bank account tells me. My hatred also guides me and tells me too. How crazy is that? Misfit Patriot. This is exactly what I voted for. And anyone upset about this can go get Fs. Promises made. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Promises kept. Joel Berry goes, and just like that, Trump undid all Obama's hard work to nuclearize Iran. How about that? The biggest winners of this, though, are actually the Iranian people, because they're going to be free very, very soon. Cat Turd, believe it or not, he's actually been making a bit of sense of late. The so-called MAGA influencers, the bad faith actors, right, who completely turned on Trump big time in the last 48 hours, are now claiming victory after they made a complete fool of themselves. People I once respected, now I have zero respect for. What a bunch of phony losers. I considered some of these friends. I'll never make the same mistake again. Well, yeah, unfortunately, you got loads of wolves in sheep's clothing, don't you? And I personally, you got to be careful nowadays. Like, usually people will let you know who they are very quickly, right? Sometimes when you got wolves in sheep's clothing, it's a bit hard to tell because they're very good at lying. And look, again, when it comes to Candace Owens, yes, she says a lot of crazy stuff. It's all the fault of the Jews, but she has said some things in the past that make sense and are right. Okay, it's just the way that it is. You're going to have a lot of people that will, say some crazy stuff. You may not agree with it all the time. And it's our job to call out those people that don't say the right things. But in the meantime, it's like the saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think I'm just done entirely with Candace Owens, to be fair. She may have said some great things in the past. Things that she's saying now, it's like she's got a mental illness, and I don't know if you can help anyone like that. But anyway, that's enough from me. Pray for President Trump. Pray for the US. And it looks like peace in the Middle East is going to be achieved at some point in the not too distant future. Or who knows? Things could escalate. Things could get worse. We just don't know what's around the corner. But I'll keep you guys updated in the meantime. You guys take care. Be blessed. And I'll see you all in the next video.